Blessings. Hola, hola, hola. I hope everyone is well tonight. Happy Womb Wednesday to everyone that is joining. My name is Ramona Riley, aka the Vagina Lady, and owner of Cosmic Woman. This is something we do every single Wednesday, and we talk about reproductive things, maybe positive or it be negative, how things affect it, hormonal, periods, menopause. We talk about everything, sex, we talk about it all, okay? So this is where we talk about every single thing that is reproductive, okay? And don't forget about the breasts, because the breasts are definitely reproductive, okay? It's definitely a part of the reproductive system. So first, I just want to do a quick prayer. This is something I do all the time. It's nothing to offend anyone. It is really just cleaning the energy, really, and just bringing peace, okay? So once we do that, then we will get started into this specific Womb Wednesday. Dear God, everyone on this live, myself, we are just grateful for the abundance that we receive every day. We just thank you for that. We ask you for protection, for strength, also for some softening of our hearts, allowing us to have peace in our minds, in our hearts. We also ask you to just continue to stand and walk beside us and give us the guidance that we need. Amen. Okay, so this Womb Wednesday and the next few Womb Wednesdays are going to be about one topic. And the one topic is healthy periods. Healthy periods, okay? I come on a live on a regular basis, right? Every Wednesday at least, coming on live, talking about hormonal issues, fibroids and PCOS and lack of libido and like all these different things that I speak about, because of course these are things that are affecting women. So it has affected me, and it is affecting many other women out there. But for some strange reason, I don't know if I have really gotten across really what is a healthy period, like what that's like, what that's supposed to look like, how you're supposed to feel. And so I really want to tap into that aspect tonight and next week Wednesday and the following Wednesday, because I want to highlight it. I want to showcase the fact that if you are waking up with pain, if you are uncomfortable during your period, before your period, after your period, every single day of your fucking life, that something is off. And not only is something off, but you can have the most amazing period. You can have an 18-hour period. 18 hours. Imagine that. Like, imagine thinking about 18 hours of just bleeding. Just bleeding alone? Are you kidding? So how does that work? Like you spot for like an hour, and then like the heaviness comes down, and then you have the heaviness for like 6 hours, and then you have spotting for like, how does that work? But it works. And I think the majority of us women would probably say, who the fuck cares how it works? We want that. Every woman would want that. Who wouldn't want that? So having a 2-day period myself, I mean, it's that one day. It's not 18 hours. And I would love an 18-hour period. Even though it is that I have a 2-day period. I mean, my period does not switch anything in my life. Nothing. I don't have to worry about the color that I'm wearing. I don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I going to go to the pool? Am I going to go to the beach? Blah, 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 blah. I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm going to be cramping. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. None of that. I don't have those stresses at all. And I'm not going to say that I'm the healthiest individual on this planet. So it's not about, I mean, of course, healthier is better. Let's keep it real, right? Like, seriously. But it is really about understanding your body and then knowing how to heal what it is that your body has been projecting or voicing in its own way. The symptoms that they're having. So, with that being said, I want to start in the first place when we talk about a healthy period. I sat down and I thought to myself, okay, so I'm going to talk about healthy periods. What's one of the first things that I really want to talk about? Like, what's one of the first things that I think about when I think about healthy periods? And the first thing that could come to my mind was your first period. That first period. The second, the third, the first 2 years of your period. What was that like? What was that period like the first 2 years? The first 4 years? The first 10 years? Because sometimes what it was at the beginning continues. And that's why we don't think that anything is wrong. Because this is our normal. This is what we know. Versus it being this, and then after a few years it shifted to this, and then being after years it shifted to this. Then that kind of woman is going to be a little bit more like, hold on. My period never used to be like this. Now it's like this, and it wasn't like that before. And now it's like this whole other thing that's going on. And she might kind of be like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go to the doctor. But if your first period, you had 2 spots, two spots, and you didn't see a period again for another 2 to 3 months. And when that came, it was just 2 spots. And then later on down, it maybe got a little bit more, but it was still never a lot. And you still never got a period every single month. Do you think that that woman, by the time she gets to 28, not trying to have kids, she's just now 28, and now, and still at this point, she's having these skipped periods. So what is normal for her is for her period to not come every month. But normal is so different from healthy. So now this woman is thinking to herself, okay, my period doesn't come every month, but that's all right because I hate my period anyway. And the only time it starts to matter to her is when she wants to create a baby. When she's found this man that she wants to now produce an offspring with, right? And then she realizes that, fuck, this period or this lack of period every month or every other month is actually not a fucking blessing. It has actually been a curse. And it has not been a curse. What it has been is the symptoms are there. The body's talking to her, but she's not listening or she doesn't understand because this is all she knows. Right? And then you have the other woman who she gets her period and she's at school. And she's sitting down in class. Maybe her stomach was cramping her before and she didn't know why, or been cramping for a while and she doesn't know why. Or maybe she wasn't cramping at all. But she's sitting in class, she stands up, She, whatever, and by the time she turns around, there is blood all over her skirt. She's embarrassed. Her friends are looking at her. She like runs off. The teacher doesn't know what to do. Okay, let me go and run after her. Like all of this dynamic is happening. And so from the first time that this goddess had her period, it was heavy. It was heavy. It was a lot of freaking blood. And not only was there a lot of blood, but there was a lot of clots. And she was bleeding heavily on a regular basis up until she was 30, 35. And to her, this was normal. Why was this normal? This was normal because this was what has been happening to her from she was 11 or 10 or 9 or whatever age it is, because girls are having their period from their like 8, 9, right? So I'm giving these scenarios just to give you an example that, or an understanding, I should say, that you really want to, it's not about what you are used to. It's not about what has been happening on a regular basis. It's about the health. It's about literally health. Not normality, health. So, let's go into that. When a woman or a young girl has a consultation with me, the first few questions that I am going to ask her is going to be about her period. I want to know about her period. I want to know, like, what's happening? How does it go? What is the cycle? Blah, blah, blah. And you know what is funny? One of the things that I really don't ask is, what day did your period start last month? Or what day did your period end last month? Because to be honest with you, I could give two shits. I just want to know, did it come or did it not come? And if it came, does it usually come? Or does it skip, jump, whatever? That's what I want to know. Because when we start the healing process, your entire cycle is going to change. Your entire cycle. So if you had a 27-day cycle, by the time you've started your treatment, a month, 2 months later, you could have a 29-day cycle. You could have a 30-day cycle. Okay? Those things change. I just personally want to know, does your period come every month? What does it look like? What does it smell like? All of these things. Okay. So when we talk about the flow of your period, maybe that it spots first, maybe that it comes down just dramatic, just see me here, I am here, right? However it is that it comes down in that manner doesn't really matter. That is not really stressful. So don't make that be stressful. What makes it unhealthy is if you start to spot, say, at 9:20, you realize, oh, okay, there's something. And then 4 days later, you're still spotting and the period hasn't come down. That's an issue. That's not a healthy period. Okay? We want to make sure that when the period spots, it might spot for just 1 day. I'll give it a day. But when we start going into it spotting for 2 days and 3 days and 4 days and 5 days before the period actually comes down, that's way too long. Way, way, way too long. We know that you're going to have backed up blood by the time your cervix closes back up at the end of the period. It's too long. It's too dragged out. So that is an issue, right? That is something that I would say is an unhealthy period. And another thing that I would say is an unhealthy period is when the color of your period when it starts. What color is your period when it starts? Some women, it's like burgundy. For some women, it's kind of brownish. For some women, it's like black. For some women, it's pink. For some women, it's bright red. For some women, it's light pink. For some women, it switches each month. It just depends on, she doesn't even know, right? So what's healthy? In terms of the color, when the period first starts, what's healthy? Let me tell you. Pink. Pink blood is beautiful. Light red. Light red's beautiful. Bright red. Bright red is also beautiful. Okay? Those are the only 3 colors that are healthy. That's it. So when you start your period and it's like burgundy, like behind me, or even a little lighter, it's too dark. Too dark. When you're starting your period and it's brown first. When you're starting your period and it's orangey brown, orangey red. No. When you start your period and it's black, that is unhealthy. Very unhealthy. It's toxic. It's a lot of old blood. It's like, ugh, right? So that is also something that you can look at. Another thing to think about is the clots. How many of you beautiful goddesses on this live right now have clots? And let me go through the clots, because sometimes people are like, clots, what's that? Right? Okay. So sometimes you have some clots and the clots are like really stringy. Like it's not a mass. It's not a mass at all. Okay. It is literally like stringy, like mucus, but it has like red streaks in it. Right? Okay. So you have that. Then you have the little clots. And they look kind of like a little ball of tissue, very, very tiny. Then you have the ones that are bigger than that. And then you have the ones that women can literally feel when they're passing out of their vagina, going through their birth canal, down into, through the cervix and into the vagina out. I mean, down out of the vagina. I don't like any of them. I don't like the stringy ones. I don't like the little ones. I don't like the half medium size one them. And I don't like the big, tough, dirty one them neither. I don't like them. They're not good. It is your uterine lining. So either your uterine lining is creating too much lining, which is an issue, or your uterine lining is very thin because it is shedding all of this damn lining. That's what that is. So look at that, ladies. You should have no clots. Your uterus should be, your uterine lining and your uterus itself should be healthy enough where the lining that is created is just enough. Just enough so that what needs to be implanted inside the uterus, meaning the fetus and blah, 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 can happen. Enough to where you have your period and the lining sheds and your lining is still protected because there's still enough lining. And it is not thin. Okay? So clots are also an issue. Clots are also something that we would say would create an unhealthy period. Now, another thing that would create that, or would be a sign of that, I should say, is pain. Pain, guys. How many women are having pain? Pain before the period, pain during the period, pain after the period, pain every single freaking day, right? Pain is not a good thing. Pain is not telling us that everything is hunky-dory. And pain comes from many different angles. Sometimes the pain comes from the fact that your uterine lining is just weak. It's just can't manage. The uterus is contracting like this. And it's constant and it won't stop. Right? And so you can't manage and you have to take something. You have to do something. You feel like you feel like something coming out of your vagina and ripping out your belly and you just want to just jump off a cliff. right? So you have all these different levels of pain. Now, when I say pain, okay, like for example, you are bleeding or you are about to bleed. And so your uterus is, of course, going to get prepared for the lining of the uterus to now shed, which is your period, right? So for me to say you should feel absolutely nothing might not be accurate across the board. But whatever little that you feel, or little that you feel, or little that you feel, or little that you feel, is not a stress. And it shouldn't be a stress. And it shouldn't affect you. And you should just be continuing to do what it is that you've been doing and planning to do. It should not bother you. What's going on here? Bless Black Princess. How are you, darling? Yeah, so she used to have bad cramps and she used red raspberry and no cramps. There you go, right? Cramps are not healthy. Cramps are not healthy. We should not be having cramps. We should not be needing to take Baralgin. We should not be needing to take Panadol. We should not need to be taking those things. Not for your period pain. Because you shouldn't have pain. Your period should be easy, breezy. Right? That's what it should be. That's what it is. That's what it was intended to be. Just like birthing, and how birthing wasn't intended to be so stressful and traumatic, and our culture or society has created this thing where period should be painful. Birth should be painful. No, why? Forget that whole Adam and Eve foolishness. Cause nothing go so. We're not being now stressed with our painful periods because of Adam and Eve. I'm sorry. I mean, tell me that when I'm 10. You can't tell me that at 37. That's just rubbish, right? If it is that you are having period pains before, during, after, something is not right. Something is off. The uterus is stressed. The pelvic floor is stressed. Something is wrong. Okay? Birth control, no, guys, no. And we're going to get into that, okay? We're going to get into that because I haven't even been looking at the questions because I don't even want to answer any yet because we have 3 weeks of this, okay? I am just going over the basics right now, and then we're going to go into next week in terms of the things that people think that help these things versus not. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, right now I am just trying to pique your interest and have you thinking and looking back. Okay, that is what we're doing tonight. So yes, pain before, during, after, that is also an issue. There should be no pain. Easy breezy, easy breezy. That's what your period should be, right? So another thing about periods and unhealthiness is the fact that it comes more than once a month. There are some women that have their periods twice a month, and they've always had their periods twice a month. So what do you mean it's not healthy? It is healthy. That's how my period has always been. But it's not healthy. Our period should not be that close together. If we're talking about every 26 days, okay. But every 22 days, that's kind of close. That's close, right? Every 19 days, that's too close. Okay? So we definitely want to look at that as well. because we spoke about not having a period, but then having too many periods in a month is also an issue. It is also a problem. Now let's move away from that for a second and go to something else that could be a problem. And it is what? The length of your period. The length of your period, okay? What is the length of your period? Because that tells us a lot. A lot. Right? We talked about the fact that periods can last 18 hours. We spoke about that. That's one of the first things I talked about. The fact that you can have a period and it can last 18 hours and then that shit is over. Do you think the woman that has an 18-hour period, 24-hour day period, 48-hour period, 72-day period, do you think those women hate their periods? Do you think that their periods are annoying to them? They're not. Because there's no annoyance attached to it. What do you mean? What do you mean that it's annoying? It lasts 2 days. It lasts 1 day. It lasts 3 days. Like, it's not annoying. On top of the fact that now, even with the shorter days, now I have no clots, and I have no pain, and I have no bloating, and I have no constipation, and I have no nausea, and I have no nothing. Because guys, that whole nausea thing before your period, during your period, you gotta get a hold of that. That is so digestive. It is. If your daughter is having her period and she vomits, you need to call me tomorrow. If your daughter is suffering with pain from her period, you need to call me tomorrow. Period pains and period symptoms and periods in general affect us in these types of ways where we, as the amazing goddesses that we are, that can do anything and everything, can't function as well as we should be able to. How? I remember the days when I couldn't function. Go where? Do what? Go downstairs and do what? Cook dinner? Wake up in the morning and cook breakfast? Yo, I was pop. I was absolutely pop. And it affects everyone. It affected my husband. It affected my children. And it affected me. And it affected everything that I touched. So these women that are in these high-powered jobs and they're getting crazy amount of money every single month to do whatever it is that they're doing, they're no different than the woman that gets up every day and take the bus to somewhere and go clean somebody's toilet and all kind of madness when it comes to when her period appears. Period, you suffer no matter what economic situation you are in. You have money woman, we have endometriosis, and you have poor people who have endometriosis. You have rich people that have fertility problems, and you have poor people that have fertility problems. Any of these things have nothing to do with financial, in terms of it affecting you if you're financially stable or not. It affects everyone. Now, of course, if you're financially stable, you find that you have a little bit more leverage and a little bit more thing to be able to seek the help and get the healing or the whatever, the medication or whatever it is that you're doing. But every woman suffers. So I was speaking to someone the other day, and it was a gentleman. And it's probably about three of us, right? And we're sitting down. And there was a lady that was sitting kind of like behind us. And she got up and she picked up her bag. She was sitting with a bunch of friends, okay? She got up and she picked up her bag and she walked off. And when I saw that, I personally thought to myself, oh, she on her period. So I said to one of my brethren, yo, you know when you see a woman pick up her bag and go to the bathroom when she don't need to take her bag because her friend them sit down right there, so she's on her period? And he was like, wow, I would never think about that. That's never crossed my mind before. But that makes so much sense because I've seen women do that, and I thought to myself, why are you doing that? Like, why are you taking one bag of things with you to the bathroom? Like, just go to the bathroom. And I said, yeah, because that bitch is on her period. And so what's she going to do? Take out the pad and like what, stuff it in her pocket? Not every woman is going to do that. Or take out the tampon and stuff it in her pocket? Not every woman is going to do that. So you find a lot of women take their whole entire big bag, what them walk in the place with, to the bathroom. And that is that. Right? Now, so I guess in me saying all of this so far, it's kind of a thing of, it's not just women that need to understand what a healthy period is, but men as well need to understand what a healthy period is, because they're involved. They're involved. There's so many men that are so grateful for me because their wife's period is shorter. So the wife's period shorter means that they're probably going to have more sex, right? And so they're over glad up, nice up, and they're like, yo, Mona, I love you, right? But it's important for me to educate not just the women, but also the men. And it is so funny because there have been in the past like 3 years, there have been so many men that reach out to me about their significant other, about their wives, about their girlfriends, saying, hey, you know, she's in a lot of pain. And I tell her, I said, this can't normal, what you think? Or we've done everything. We've done the ultrasounds, we've gone here, she's done the surgeries, and she's still in pain. And so the men reaching out, I think is just amazing. Like, I think that's so beautiful. Like, I love that. I totally love that. Totally love that. Like, awesome. Now, let me recap a little bit before I continue. So when we're talking about healthy periods, we're speaking about no clots. None. Stringy, big, medium, small, I don't care. None. We're talking also about no pain. No pain in your back, no pain in your belly, no pain in your vagina, no pain in your head, no pain upon your eyelash. No pain. We're also talking about it being shorter. Okay? So 3 days or less is healthy. We also spoke about the color of your period when it starts. What does that look like? And the color lets you know if your period is healthy or not. And it doesn't mean your entire period and your hormones are healthy. Okay? But it is just another thing for us to be aware of in terms of when the period starts. Is it fresh blood that comes down, or is it old blood? Because old blood is toxic. Right? We don't want that. We want all the blood to come out before the cervix closes up during the period. Okay, that's what we want. Another thing that I want to talk about is smell. For some women, their periods smell. There's a smell. And they're all different types of smell. But your period not really supposed to smell like no whole heap of nothing. Like not. Just like your vagina. I mean, yeah, your vagina can have a little... It can have a... Like... You smell something, but you don't even know what you smell. Like, you don't even know what that is. Like, there's nothing offensive about it. Your period should not be offensive, and your pussy, your vagina, your cum, your fluids that leak out of your vagina, your discharge, any of those things, none of that should be offensive. And when you feel offended, that means that your vagina in herself is angry. Angry, not happy. There's a book by Queen Afua, who I love so much, and it is called The Angry Vagina. And if you are going to read a book about vaginas and about healing and about reproductive, I would tell you to read that book. It is an easy read. Easy read. Easy read. Don't go and buy the big, heavy, tough book them that are going to stress out yourself and take you 6 years to read. It's a great book to read. Okay? That's just a side note. So with this healthy period aspect, right? The no smell, the no clots, the no old blood or stale blood, the shortness of it, right? Another thing I want to talk about is the skipping. Sometimes I realize some women's periods like skip. So like they spot today, they have a period, the second day, the third day, the fourth day they just don't have a period at all. Then the fifth day them have spotting, the sixth day they have spotting, and then like the seventh day barely anything comes. That's not healthy. There's no reason why you should be on your period and in the middle of your period or in the first half of your period or in the end of the half of your period or whatever part of your period that you should just like not be bleeding. So what happened? Your uterus like what? Like what's like no. That don't make no sense. If your period start, it need to flow, it needs to stop, and you move on. This jump and skip and shift and shuffle and that is not healthy. Okay, so that is definitely something else that you can look at when it comes to having a healthy reproductive system. Now, when I talk about healthy reproductive system, we can't fight out or ignore hormones. And a lot of times the reasons why these periods are the way they are unhealthy is because our hormones are all over the place, or they're not abundant enough in where they should be, or they're too abundant in certain places, okay? And so that will definitely affect the period. Definitely affect the period. Now, I wanted to just, someone wanted to come on and I was going on. Okay, let me go through a little bit of the questions. My first period was when I was 12. Okay, yeah, mine too. My first period I was 12 as well. That's all she knew because of how her flow was. Yes, exactly. So to her, that was normal. It was normal for it to flow like that. Bright red. I'm guessing that's in terms of the period. Yes, the period needs to be bright red, light red, or pink. Those are the colors that we're looking for, ladies. Okay, that's what we want. In the last 2 days of my period, there's always a scent. Is that normal? It might be normal, but it's not healthy. There should be no scent. No scent. No scent. We got to do something about that. No scent, okay? For clots, I always feel them coming out. Okay, and we don't want clots. That's not something that we want. That's not something that shows that our body is healthy or happy. Okay, so the lining is shedding too much. That's what the clots are. So we have to make sure that we are not producing too much of the lining or shedding the lining that's there to make it too thin. Always feel mine coming. I'm assuming that's the clots. What causes clots? I just told you. It's the lining. My clots are huge and very painful when they're coming out. There you go, guys. That's what I was just saying. Like, that's not healthy. That's not what we want. That is not showing that your uterus lining is healthy or your uterus is healthy. We don't want all of that. Okay? So we would definitely need to do things. Ladies, if this is happening to you, please don't just sit down, you know. I am not here just to hear myself talk. I am here to help you guys to bring awareness to certain things, okay? How it is that you figure out how it is you want to fix that is entirely up to you. I am not getting involved in that at all, okay? So whichever way you want to go, whoever you want to talk to, whatever procedure you want to do or not do, that is entirely up to you. What I am saying to you is these things you need to find and figure out how you're going to fix and heal these things in your own way, whatever that might be. Good night, good night. Oh, thank you. Somebody said that was beautiful. Helen back again. Good night to all. Pleasure to be here. I get slight cramps days before. When it comes, no pain. Yeah, and that's not bad. I mean, slight cramps, as I told you guys before, it's not really like this huge issue, you know. But we definitely don't want it to be anything that's now going to like affect you and affect your day and affect your mood and all that kind of thing. Like this whole moody thing when your period's supposed to come, that's like really like hormonal. You know what I mean? Unless you just have somebody around you that just stress you out. And then like, fuck, I'm bleeding, I'll have to be changing a pad and you're annoying me. Nigga, what? Or bitch, what? Right? That's a different story. But on a regular basis, you should not be so easily annoyed, okay, or frustrated. You have a walk-in store that I can buy the red raspberry tea and the magnesium pill? Yes, we do. It is at 10 Argyle Road, which is Kingston 10. We're open Monday to Friday from 9 to 4 p.m. Okay. Someone says before and during. I'm assuming that's the pain. Pain before the period, someone's saying. Before and during is the pain. Back pain. I'm 24. I have to stop my period because it's too painful. I can't walk when I'm on my period, so I stopped it with the pearl. I know it's not good, but I can't ask for days off of work. Okay, goddess. So listen. The pearl is not helping. I tell you, it's making everything worse. It is. You have to heal that. The reason why the period pain is painful is because something is going on. There's something deeper. Something is deeper down there. Okay? Something. So we have to get to the root of that. So instead of just going on that, go to your doctor, right? Do an ultrasound, a pelvic ultrasound where they take the camera thing and then push it up your vagina and then look, see if they see anything. If they don't see anything, you have to start the process. You cannot just go to your doctor and say, I'm having period pains, and they say, oh, okay, go on birth control, and you're like, oh, okay, and you go on it and it works because you're not feeling as much pain and you're not feeling any symptoms really, and you're happy. Because just the fact that you're not feeling the symptoms doesn't mean that the thing that's happening is not happening. It's happening. The vibration of the trauma or the stress or the unhealthiness of the actual reproductive organs is still there. It's still constant. It's just that this pill is numbing it just a bit. So look into that. Think about that. Be aware of that. Please, goddess, please. Before, during, and after someone has pain. There you go. You know what I mean? I have no pain at all, never, just breast tenderness. Well, that's good. That's awesome. That's very good. And breast tenderness is not so bad unless they get like really swollen and painful. And if that's the case, then yeah, we definitely want to do something about that too, because the most that should happen is like your nipples get a little sensitive or your breasts get like a little full, but it shouldn't be sensitive to the touch. Okay. I used to have bad cramps, but since the red raspberry, it's my best friend. No cramps. All right, Black Princess, just cool, no? Shannon, no, that's not good. Birth control makes it worse. That's a no-no. Yes, exactly. Tell her. Birth control pills are not healthy, guys. No. Hey, I get cramps in my lady parts even when it's not my time of the month. Any views on what might be the problem? Okay, so the fact that you're having pain in that area, during that time, it's stressed. It's feeling the vibration and the everything that's happening from above. Okay, it is swollen, it's inflamed. So that's not surprising. That's not odd. That happens to a lot of women. There are few things that you can do. I would definitely recommend vaginal steaming. I would definitely recommend magnesium. I would definitely recommend like abdominal massages, like self-abdominal massages, so that there's clearly a circulation issue. So you want to fix that. You want to fix the circulation down there. I even vomit everything I eat. The time is the worst. My time is the worst. Guys, listen. The vomiting thing, the back pain, the nausea, the bloating, the headache, the breast swollen, can't touch them. Guys, that's not healthy. It's not healthy. And I can't wait to talk about how it is that we can change all of this, because I have so many things to tell you guys and how we can make the period freaking healthy, right? Because we need to make it healthy. It needs to be healthy. The healthier it is the healthier we are. No? Go on some of Ramona's products. Not a failure. Trust me. Thank you. I think I'm going to Black Princess. I use a soap to wash my cookie and have been experiencing burning while urinating after. This happened immediately after my period. He came with an off scent too. Is that normal? Well, you need to look at this wash that you're using. You know what I mean? Look at the wash. I mean, does it have citric acid in it? Does it have, what does it have in it? Because that could be an issue. No, so the pain and nausea is horrible, and the fatigue. Yes, we need to do something. We got to do something about that, okay? So please, let's do something about that. I'm here to learn. 5 days. 5 days isn't bad, but 5 days isn't like exciting either. You know, it's kind of like, I used to have cramps like a week before and problems vomiting, so I changed my diet, did my shakes and drink my tea, and now my period is 3 days coming from 6. Awesome. Somebody said 8 days. Someone said, I just love you. I can't wait to start working to come see you and really sort out myself. Listen, you don't have to think that you need to go spend no one bag of money to get healing, you know. Guys, you don't have to do that, you know. That is not what you have to do. Okay? All the things that I talk about here, there's so many things that you do not have to go and spend over an extra amount of money to do. Get a tea for $5. Y'all are getting your nails done. Okay? Get a tea for $5. Get a little one steam take a one vitamin. You guys can do that. You don't have to necessarily do all the, start small instead of not starting at all. Because the longer and longer it takes for you to actually start treatment, when there's already something wrong and been wrong for a while, only makes your situation harder and worse and harder to treat and fix. Right? So, one step at a time. There's some women that come to me and all them can do is come buy the womb tea. Them can't do nothing else but buy the womb tea. And they see the difference from the womb tea. They see it. Right? So everyone is different, yes. And financially, everyone is in a different position, yes. But there are certain little things you can do. Changing your diet, this, that can also affect it. But we're going to go all into that next week. Let me try and finish up the questions. Aiming for 2 days now. Let's meet. Yes, girl. 4 days, 5 days, 5 days. Can hormone imbalance affect your cycle? Of course, your whole cycle is your hormones. Yes, for sure, 100%. 18 hours what? Where do I sign up? Well, you got to have a consultation and then we'll work it out for you. Cody, I'm going to do an ultrasound, then check you. Yeah, man, that's fine. Do your ultrasound, check me, then do your ultrasound. It doesn't matter. Because I can read things from your body to already know, yeah, that's an issue. Yeah, that's an issue. Yeah, that's an issue. So, but I'm still, even if you've never done one and I've already made a treatment plan for you, if you've never done a pelvic ultrasound, it is going to be on your treatment plan. So yes, you can definitely do that. Is it normal to pass clots? No, we spoke about that so much tonight. It is not normal to pass clots. It's not normal to have clots. It's not normal. It's not healthy. It's not good. It shouldn't happen. How else do you say that in English? I can't wait to start my journey from you. I can't wait for you to start your journey. I can't wait, bad girl. I can't. I get period. Yeah, we got to fix that. That's digestive. That's so much digestive. Okay? We can fix that though. That is fixable for sure. Don't sit there suffering with that. I am 40 and I vomit and terrible pain. Don't sit with that. Let's do something about that. Okay? Let's fix it. Start with your diet. Okay? Start with cleansing. Oh, that breeze. It's loud. Start with that. Okay? If you can't do a consultation right now, start with that. If you can do a consultation, well, set up your consultation so that I can get a treatment plan written out for you and get it done and work it out for you. Okay? Okay, phone number. A bunch of people are saying phone number. Okay, I am going to put it right here. Jamaica number. US number. And of course, all of this is on WhatsApp. This is US and international. Okay. Wife seeing results already. Thanks to Ramona. Thanks to you, Ramona. You're more than welcome, honey. And she's the one doing the work, so she's healing herself. Okay. Definitely healing herself. And please tell her that. Tell her that you're really proud of her. You're really proud of the fact that she is being consistent, you know, and that it's only gonna get better. Only gonna get better. All right, guys. So it is about that time when I have to tune out, because they're soon going to tune me out. All right. I thank you guys so much for being a part of this live. Thanks so much for coming on. We have Pum Pum 101 on Friday. Don't miss it. We're going to be talking about all kind of niceness. It will be at 9 o'clock Jamaica time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard US time. Ooh, something just fell. So check it out, guys. Please, Pum Pum 101 is great. It's amazing. It's fun. And there's so much to learn. So much to learn. So please check that out. Also, if you are not following Cosmic Woman on YouTube, I ask you to please do so. Just click that button for subscribe so that you can see all the different things, and the bell so that you can see all the things that we have coming up, right? Or posting, I should say. Again, guys, thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to do Womb Wednesdays. And next Wednesday we will still be on the healthy period, and it will be healthy period part 2. So don't miss it. We're going to start talking about different products and different treatments that you can use to fix these problems or these normal things that aren't healthy things. Okay, so thanks again, guys. Love and light to all of you. Have a great night. It's a full moon tomorrow. Full moon tomorrow, guys, in Aries. So of course, if you can do anything with fire, light a bonfire, anything like that, I will come on tomorrow and talk a little bit about it. It won't be long, but I'll definitely talk about a little bit about the full moon tomorrow, so you guys can look out for that. Love and light, guys. Have a good night. Bye.